So over the last 6 months or so, I've shot quite a few weddings where I haven't really had access to AC power, and I use the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K that I'm filming on right now a lot during weddings because it's a great camera, and yeah, I'm not going to go into that, but I've had a few issues with regards to power, like most people do. Now I have a V-mount battery and I use that most of the time, but my issue really comes down to I just kind of like jerry-rigged it each time. I got like a big thing of Velcro and kind of Velcroed it to either a slider that I was using or maybe to the tripod, and number one, it didn't look very professional. Number two, it's actually pretty inefficient to set up. So I figured, let's build a rig. I've got most of the parts anyways, but let's build a rig. I'm gonna talk about kind of how I built it out, the parts that I used, and my philosophy of use and kind of my requirements when I was searching out things to get for this rig. So yeah, we're gonna go talk about that, but first it's about to rain, storm pretty bad because it's Charleston, it's the summer, and we grilled out last night, so I gotta pull the grill in. So let's do that real quick. So the really cool thing about this grill is it's wood burning. So yeah, you don't actually use propane like a lot of grills do. It's a wood burning grill. It's super old. A buddy of mine that moved away, miss you, Garrett and Kelly, they gave it to me, and it's like 20 years old or something crazy like that. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's wood burning, makes delicious stuff. And this is mesquite wood, I think. It's a hickory or mesquite, but kind of get that smoky flavor, whatever you're cooking, burgers, chicken, anyways. Has nothing to do with this video, but it's delicious. I had a couple of things in mind that I wanted to do with this rig, and a couple of like requirements or like personal requirements that I had for building this rig out, for using it on weddings and all that kind of stuff. First thing is I didn't want to drop $1,000 on a rig. I'm not interested in spending that much money to rig the camera out. I want to do it as cost effectively as possible, as we all do, don't we? Second of all is, this is the big thing, is I wanted to be able to strip the camera down really quickly to move over to my gimbal without having to do a whole lot of work. I wanted to be able to really just unplug a couple things, take it off the rig and drop it on the gimbal, because I mean, weddings and stuff like that, events, you really need to have like a really quick run and gun setup, and I really think I've built that here. So it being 5 billion degrees outside in Charleston, I'm sweating like crazy. Let's go up to the studio and kind of break this thing down. I'll show you the different parts and yeah, kind of how I built it out. Oh, it's hot outside. Not cooled down finally. What's up, y'all? My name's Tyler Edwards. I'm a videographer out of Charleston, South Carolina, and today we're going to talk about this rig that I've built up for the Pocket 4K. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm not really fond of rigging up cameras unnecessarily, so when I say this was built out completely out of necessity, believe me, I wish I didn't have to rig this out, but do out of necessity. So the reason being, as I kind of explained earlier, was when I'm doing weddings or anything really where I don't have access to power and I need to record for longer than 30 minutes, whatever the case may be, I want to have something that's be able to power it without AC power, namely a V-mount battery, to power it for a long time. Now, I've been using a V-mount battery for a while, just running out of the D-tap on the top of the battery, and it's kind of was like a jerry-rig situation where I was kind of velcroing it either to a tripod leg or something. I just wanted something a little bit more compact, a little bit more robust, and something that if I needed to, I can completely take it off the tripod and go handheld really quickly without the need to take anything else off. So this whole rig can kind of come off the tripod super quickly. So I like that. And it adds a little bit of weight too, so it makes handheld shooting a little more stable, especially if you put it up to your chest. Yeah, anyways. So yeah, we're just gonna go over the parts that I used to kind of build up this rig. A lot of these parts I had already laying around, but some of them I did purchase. So we'll just kind of go through what is kind of built up with this rig. First thing we'll talk about is, well, number one, I have a cage around the pocket camera. That's pretty necessary. On the bottom, I have this little tripod base plate 15mm rail adapter. I'm not really sure what it's called, but basically what it does is it holds these 15mm rails to hold all this other stuff, and that's kind of the core of this whole system. The benefit of this is it says it's specifically made for the Pocket 4K, but it's just a 501 style plate on the top, and I put a 501 plate on the bottom. What I can do with this is easily take the camera off of this whole setup to go over to my gimbal, or if I wanted to put another camera on like my Canon C200 or 5D or anything like that that has a 501 style plate, it could actually slide onto this tripod plate no problem. And I have all the benefits of the rail and the battery and all that kind of stuff at my disposal without having to change tripod plates and all that kind of stuff. So it just makes it super quick to change things around. One thing I really do like about it is it clicks into place when you slide it in, first of all, and then it has this latch here that just kind of locks it into place. It kind of gives you just like double security that this camera's not going anywhere. So I really dig that part. I've got these 15mm rails. I've had these laying around for a really long time, really just to hold this battery plate and all this kind of stuff back here. Speaking of which, that's what we'll go to next. This is a V-mount battery. This is 130 watt hour, and it just powers the camera all day. I mean, it's amazing how long these things last. This is the V-mount plate, and it's screwed into this little cheese plate here. And I just recently picked up this plate. This is by Headbox, and the cool thing about this is I have a ton of different power outputs on it, not just to power the camera, but to power the monitor or anything else like that. So the reason why I went with this one is because it has generic outputs on it. It has USB, and then it has 3 D-taps on the side. And the really cool thing about that is I can use this plate with any other camera system, and I just need to get a D-tap to whatever cable I need. This company does make a plate specifically for the Blackmagic Pocket 4K with the Blackmagic Pocket 4K power adapter, but I really didn't want to have that because I didn't want to limit this plate to be able to just use with this camera. So that's why I went with this route. It just kind of more future-proofed. And I've got this running to the pocket camera with the D-tap cable here. And then I've got a D-tap cable running up to the small HD monitor. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to have one battery to power the pocket camera and the small HD monitor. And the cool thing is because this is running into the 12 volt input, it's actually charging the LPE6 battery inside the camera as well. So if this battery dies and I pull the battery off, the camera's still running, and I have 20 or 30 minutes to go fetch another V-mount battery. And I'll put it on, and recording is uninterrupted, and we're good to go there. The other thing I have on here is this top handle. If you watched any of my other videos, I have a C200 rigging video, and it's the same top handle, small rig. Pretty much, most of these parts are small rig. It's just because they're affordable and they make great products. So yeah, I've just got random things all over the place just to make it a little bit more convenient for me to attach different things, cold shoes and all this kind of stuff. And then obviously the monitor. It's a pretty basic, once you kind of tear it down, it's a pretty basic setup, but it's very effective and it's very versatile and mobile, and that's what I really like about it. And it's not just a Blackmagic Pocket 4K rig. I can use this with my C200 or 5D or whatever the case may be. Yeah, and then here I just got this little Rode Video Mic Go, or whatever this is, to get scratch audio. I'm running into 3.5mm input, and what I usually do, even if I'm running a lav, I'll run 3.5mm input here, and then I'll use one of the mono or the microphones on board and just set it up as a mono channel. That way I have audio coming in from 2 different sources. If for some reason this dies or something, I still have backup audio here. Or these microphones are actually pretty good for ambient audio as well. So just a number of reasons why I do kind of a dual audio recording. So that's pretty much it with regards to this rig. It's pretty simple. It's no frills, but the big thing for me was I'm powering the camera for a long time. And number 2, this isn't just locking me into using with the Pocket 4K. I can use this with multiple camera systems, and it's extremely versatile. So if you found that helpful, useful, anything like that, hit that subscribe button down below. Ring that little bell next to it. Really hard. Ring it so you know when I'm making more videos like this. And if you liked it, hit that thumbs up button. That's pretty much it. Comment down below if you've got a similar rig to this, or if you don't, or anyway, just say hi. And I'll say hi back. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.